Do we three have the final determination of who's on the show? Yes. Emphatic, yes. The three of us have to agree that these people should be matched in order for them to be.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book. You know what time it is, you know what time it is. Talking to you guys about Married at First Sight. We're dealing with Chris again. He's going to be like our Karen of this season. But what we're going to talk about specifically is Chris a colorist? I want to deal with some things as well. Are the producers responsible? Because guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of the what uploads. And for those of you returnees, you got the minerals. You got the minerals. All right, cool. So very quickly, I want to say this. I've been seeing some obviously comments on my particular video, so I wanted to kind of address them and just go from there. Which is that, you know, I really appreciate we're all trying to analyze and look at behaviors and look at some of the people on the show and just really kind of see whether we can break down some of the behaviors of what they've spoken about. Now, one thing that has been spoken about is the colorism, and I'm very much acquainted with understanding what colorism is, how it plays out, how it affects our society, what role I play as a dark-skinned male, how it affects me as whale. I'm very much aware of this. We spoke a little bit about this in Ready to Love. I've done videos on this as well, so I'm not clueless and I'm not unaware when it comes to colorism. That being said, I want to throw caution to the wind. And the reason why I want to throw caution to the wind is that not everything is colorism. I want to be very clear with you. Not everything is colorism. Sometimes the guy just does not like you. And if we try to make it everything a colorism issue as to why we think he doesn't like her, let's be very frank and honest and look at the evidence. Is there any evidence aside him saying trophy wife to there being about the fact that he is a colorist? Is there any evidence? Because what we don't want to be doing is labeling people on projection of how we feel rather than weighing up what the evidence is saying. You can't throw people in jail for how you feel. We throw them in due to evidence. Now, that's to say that sometimes there is evidence and that doesn't always lead to a conviction, but at least there's evidence. Here, there is. I'm yet to see any evidence. He hasn't said anything or done anything. Yes, I'm very much aware that dark-skinned women can be fetishized. I'm aware that black women can be sexually objectified. Okay, I'm aware of these things, right? But let's keep it 100% true. Women in general are objectified, and women in general also are sexually, I should say sexually objectified, right? But in this particular case, is he sexually objectifying her? Yes. Is it because he wants to I don't think it's because of her color. I simply think it's because either he doesn't find her attractive, or he's just literally just seeing her body. That's it, as a Mazeline. Yeah, the same way guys can look at white girls and sexually objectify them simply as I want to just have sex. It works on every scale. And I think on this particular case, we've not seen any evidence as of yet to prove a claim of colorism. I think we're yet to see anything that really donates that colorism is the reason for why he doesn't like her. We knew from the very beginning of the show, matchmaking show, that he was very picky. And he said that the pickiness instantly told me there's a specific type of beauty that he wants he's not going to get from her. Could it be that maybe he wants a bit more, let's say, closer to European conventional features? I don't know. Again, I can't say that. But there's a type of beauty that he wanted that I knew that Paige wasn't going to fit straight away. As soon as I saw her, I said, that's not it. If he's saying he wants a certain type of girl, as a man, I can tell. I can look at him and go, I know that's not the kind of girl he's going to want to go for. No matter how bad she is in the body, the kind of face that he wants, maybe that's not the kind of girl. We don't have. I know Paige is an attractive woman. I've always said this. Paige is an attractive woman. You understand? Maybe Brie might have been a better fit in terms of the attractiveness that he wanted. Maybe Brie might have been a better fit. Do you know what I'm saying? So I look at it and I go, again, we have to look at evidence before we make a labeling claim like colorism, because these labels stick. And also as well, it's a get out clause when it's really, he may not just like you. It could just be that. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's at least wait for some more evidence to see if this is the case. You know what I'm saying? Because we had an inkling the way his behavior was that as soon as he met Paige, it's going to be a problem. before he met Paige, we knew he was going to be a problem. Do you understand? Yeah, and we knew that he was about sex before he met Paige. So how do we jump to the conclusion that because she's dark skinned, he's gonna sexually objectify her? He was gonna sexually objectify anybody because he only just said sex is very important to him. Do you know what I'm saying? Right? So it's not specific to the fact that she's dark skinned that he's sexually objectifying her. I really believe he would have sexually objectified anybody because he already said from the jump, sex is important to him, submissiveness is important to him, etc., etc. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the way he saw it. But I'm always open to, like I said, having that conversation because, again, there are blind spots to my sight. But again, I like to see evidence. If you can point to me evidence, then that's cool, and then we can talk about it. But as for what I'm seeing right now, I'm not seeing that. Right?
But what I can tell you is, don't stress so much about it. I mean, like, yes, they are real people. Yes, some of these things that you're seeing are shocking for sure. Believe me, I'm there too. But like, people are freaking out. I've gotten some screenshots and I'm like, whoa. And I don't watch any other reality TV, really. Do I watch? I mean, I watch HGTV. I watch my friend Grace Mitchell's, One of a Kind, and I'm watching her Tiebreaker stuff. Our kids love to watch Food Network, but it's totally different. So I don't know if this is just really unique, and our show is very unique within the reality TV space. It feels like, as strong as everyone's reactions are to seeing these first 2 episodes, it must be unique because I can't imagine that every fan base has, I don't know, it has this strong of a reaction to every episode of every reality TV show. So anyway, yeah, I just, like, let's chill out a little bit. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Go along for the ride. Watch what happens with all of these couples' relationships. That's what it's all about. Anything having to do with matchmaking has been said. Like, honestly, I keep getting questions that I know that I have answered on TV, on the radio, on podcasts, in interviews. If you go to my link in bio, you can see just about every interview that I've ever done, and it's all there. The information is there. If you're wondering, like, check it out. Check out all of our interviews. It's all there. Let's see.
I want to also deal now with Dr. Viviana's video as well, because she put a video out which is really, really interesting. She was doing a Get Ready With Me, right? And on a Get Ready With Me, she said some really interesting things, which I think will be interesting to talk about. Let me just get my notes. One thing she said, obviously, she's not sure if it's just this season or, but she's not sure as to why there's been such a vitriol of response to the actual season of the show. And I'm like, sis, are you new to this? You're not new to this. You have been in the show for how many years now? You know that there is always a heavy reaction. But I think there's an even heavier reaction this season, simply because, obviously, like I said, if you look at Chris's behaviors, the sexual objectification was not just done by him, it was also done by his dad. And so I wouldn't even say unwarranted. I would say, in a sense of the fact that it was overstepping the mark. There was behaviors that just, I don't know you yet, and you're already leading with this. That is problematic.
But what I can tell you is, don't stress so much about it. I mean, like, yes, they are real people. Yes, some of these things that you're seeing are shocking for sure. Believe me, I'm there too. But like, people are freaking out. I've gotten some screenshots and I'm like, whoa. And I don't watch any other reality TV, really. Do I watch? I mean, I watch HGTV. I watch my friend Grace Mitchell's, one of a kind, and I'm watching her tiebreaker stuff. Our kids love to watch Food Network, but it's totally different. So I don't know if this is just really unique, and our show is very unique within the reality TV space. It feels like, as strong as everyone's reactions are to seeing these first 2 episodes, it must be unique, because I can't imagine that every fan base has, I don't know, it has this strong of a reaction to every episode of every reality TV show. So anyway, yeah, I just, like, let's chill out a little bit. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Go along for the ride. Watch what happens with all of these couples' relationships. That's what it's all about. Anything having to do with matchmaking has been said. Like, honestly, I keep getting questions that
if I knew you, then we can know how we relate. But like, those thoughts were coming out into the open. Those thoughts were coming out into open. That was problematic. So for a lot of people watching it, it was degrading, not just for women, but also as a man watching it. You think to yourself, if I have a daughter, that's degrading. Why would I? Sorry about that. Why? I mean, for a man, that's degrading. Why would you want your daughter to go through something like that? If that's my daughter, right? But just as a fellow human being, I don't want to see that. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you're asking her questions like on the first time you're meeting her on a mazzoline. We're here for marriage, not for sex. So when you see that, I think there's a lot of women are probably as well frustrated because they've probably experienced that from a man, if not in that exact same way, but in some type of way. So maybe it was triggering as well. But I think for us men, for me as a man watching it, I'm like, bro, this is alarming. You know, this is alarming the way he's going. And like I said, it wasn't just him; it was his father as well. So I don't understand how I don't understand how Dr. Viviana can't see why we're reacting the way we're reacting. Like, can you not see this is a madness? Can you not see that this is a mazzoline? Like, Dr. Viviana, can you not see that, bruv, what we're looking at is a mazzoline from what Lifetime showed us? Yeah? If you watch the episode, you will know why we feel the way we feel. And if you don't, let one of us tell you why we feel the way we feel.
Do we 3 have the final determination of who's on the show? Yes. Emphatic, yes. The 3 of us have to agree that these people should be matched in order for them to be...
About obviously wanting things to work, which is also great. We understand that. But she made a point that they are responsible. They are responsible for the couples being together, not production. They are responsible. So therefore, the firm blame lies at their feet. They are the ones that conclude the couples. Then I must look at you differently now, because you are responsible for this madness. You are responsible for the madness. And the madness is simply this. How is it that Chris, who is only engaged 3 months ago, is on the show? You know, I know there are some great qualities that they merge on. I know there is. And I can see that I can see why they made a choice to do that. But after the process goes through, you have to think to yourself, there must be other factors you thought to yourself, this might not work. Pastor Gal expressed that sentiment. The way that he's so picky, this girl will not fit that narrative. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is what I'm saying. Like, this is what I said about the women that telling men what we think. Stop telling us what we think. Stop telling us how we should think. Because we don't think like you. We're not even close to thinking like you. I don't want to think like you. I'm a man. You understand? That's what makes me a man, the way we think, right? I'm not saying every thought that a man has is correct, but I'm saying a lot of our thoughts, listen, we're men, we think in a certain way. But when Pascal expressed that, Dr. Pepper and Dr. Viviana said, obviously, they felt like there's other qualities. And I'm like, listen, the man is talking about having a certain look of beauty that he wants, and he's picky about it. It's going to be long. You better pick somebody who's going to fit that narrative. Do you know what I'm saying? So again, they are responsible for why we're feeling the way we're feeling. They are responsible for the way that we're energized and annoyed at the moment, because they chose the couples. So therefore, if you chose the couples, the sword has to lie with you. I was ready to blame production. I was ready to blame Lifetime. I was ready to blame everybody else but the experts. I was going to cut them oblige. because I thought to myself, oh, maybe, do you know what, they might not have had full control of the process and how things go. I'd rather Dr. Viana had said that it was production's fault, because now I'm looking at you as problematic. How are you choosing this person? How are we choosing Virginia when she's got so much emotional baggage? How are we choosing Virginia? She's got a lot of emotional baggage, and without counseling, this is dangerous. You know, like, come on. You know, one thing I want to express though, they spoke about one last thing I want to speak about is about they spoke about also as well. They spoke about obviously the fact that in the process of the show as well, they don't. She said obviously to be politically correct, people can do what they want, right? But they wouldn't normally encourage couples to have a child or be to be getting pregnant in the first 8 weeks of the show, because like you don't want to make permanent decisions on temporary feelings kind of thing. And I respected that, do you know what I mean? Because she alluded to the fact that they would not be advising that. And I respect that, because as much as I'm annoyed at the choice of Chris and Paige, I respect the fact that they would also advise that, because looking at the situation, looking at it, seeing that obviously how that Chris and Paige are, if she has a kid by him, it's a done deal, finito. And we just had a video we did just Saturday gone, talking about fatherhood, and I'm talking about the difficulties of fatherhood when men don't actually love the woman, how it affects how they love the child. So we got to start being really responsible and really I would say not even decisive, but we really want to be making sure that we are intentful about our actions when it comes to having kids. It's not just I want to have a kid. You know what I'm saying? It's not about I want to continue my legacy. Bro, are you emotionally in the right place? Are you emotionally mature? This is why I said about the show just needs, if we've got experts, can we use them? No, can we use them? You know what I'm saying? Can we use them? Or can we at least see that we're using them? Because from our perspective, we're getting a lot of action about the actual couples. I want to see experts. At Lifetime, if you're watching this, I want you to add the format of letting us see some of the conversations with the experts more. We don't need to see all the action you're showing us. We want to see more solution-based, because many of us can learn from these situations. It's not always about drama that sells. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is, at a point, it becomes devilish if it's just about drama, right? We want to be able to see solutions. How do we overcome? We want to see some of these things being put into place. How do the experts advise them so they can move from point A to point B? We want to see these things, right? So I respect the fact that they wouldn't advise someone to have children in the first 8 weeks.
There are no rules as to whether or not people can or cannot have sex with or without protection, I think, in America. So, yeah, definitely not on our show. Do we think that that's prudent? Well, probably not. Would we advise? So, okay. Politically correct answer is everybody can do whatever they want. We would caution against making any decisions that would forever make your ability to choose whether or not to be together or that be a part of each other's lives forever. Probably don't want to make that within the first 8 weeks of your marriage. But at the same time, like, we can't, like, I'm not jumping into anybody's bedroom and be like, stop, don't do that, get off of him. That is above my pay grade. There's not a hazmat suit available. On this special episode of Married at First Sight, Dr. Viviana gets into a full body condom to split up this couple. So yeah, no, they can do whatever they want or not do whatever they don't want, whatever. Okay, I've got little straight gray.
I mean, there was I remember his comment as well, which is really interesting as well. That he wanted to be the greatest, best dressed. And I think that, again, was an inclination of the fact that this guy is going to go down as probably one of the greatest villains on the show. We've had Brandon, we've had Michael, we've had Taylor, we've had Kate, sorry, not Kate. We had Luke. We've had Zach. We've had Katie with Derek. We've had the tall guy with what's the name? I can't remember her name anyway. Do you know what I mean? We've had so many of them in the past few years. Okay, but I think he's going to top them. I think he is. Just if he continues on the way he's going, having a kid outside of marriage and coming into a marriage when you know that you were 3 months ago you were engaged to someone, all of this stuff is going to make him the greatest villain. And if he is narcissistic, then this is going to feed his ego. I'm not inclined to say that just yet, that he's narcissistic, but I'm inclined to say obviously he's selfish to a T, where obviously because there's no consequences, he gets away with it. That his head will swell if he gets known as the best villain. You know what I'm saying? I don't see him being annoyed at being the best villain. Although I saw a post on Reddit where it was him quoting Mindy. So is it Mindy Siobhan or Mindy Siobhan or? Listen, allow it, man. Mindy Shibban's Instagram post where she said about Paige being beautiful, and then she put in the hashtags F off Chris. And he's quoted it saying about, why is Mindy getting onto me? Da, da, da. Bro, why do you think she's getting onto you? Why do you think she's getting onto you? Sir, watch the show. And then, meaning keep quiet. Watch the show and understand why we're vexed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Again, this is similar to the Karen situation. Like, one thing that I always stress is this. Yes, the show will edit things, but how many times will the show catch you doing the same things before you say, let me take responsibility for my actions? I am sick and tired of people saying TV showed me the wrong way. If they show you doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, you must take responsibility for your action. Stop making it as if the TV is doing the worst job for you. You must take responsibility for your actions, because we're seeing it on the screen and you're doing it time and time again. If you've got an ego, it will show. If you're nasty, it will show. If you're rude, it will show. If you're unkind, it will show. If you're unreasonable, it will show. All of this will show on the show because they're catching you all day, every day. You can't pretend to be anything else, because the truest matter is they do tests before they go on the show and they know who you are. So you can't pretend to be anything else. You can't say, well, it was a one-off, I was irritated. That's fine if it was a one-off, but we're seeing it consistently. Same thing with the Karen from last season. Question his masculinity every single time. And then be saying, oh, the show edited me wrong. Did they? Did they edit you wrong when you're crying when you wanted to leave? Did they edit you wrong? Really? So I'm tired of this rhetoric of TV catch me wrong, because you guys saw my Ready to Love interviews. There was nobody that disproved what we saw on the show. We saw the exact same thing on the thing. You know what I'm saying? So hey, look, let me keep it 100% trill. Guys, I don't want to say anymore. I want to leave it there. Guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notifications of the uploads, and we appreciate you staying locked.